All right, welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by the Rolla Athletic Booster Club. I'm your host, Tom Brown, and today we got a couple Bulldog coaches with us, but we're not going to be talking about their sports. Instead, today we have Coach Zink, who's our head volleyball coach, and we have Coach Cook, who's our head class country coach. And as much as this is going to be uncomfortable for them, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about you guys, not your team. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So, wow. I mean, first of all, there is a lot to unpack about this relationship, and we're going to get into that because it's going to. I'm going to surprise you guys. We're going to talk about a few other things once we get people showing up. No, I'm just joking. but let's just get to it. So it was out. It was in the fall. I see this thing come across, and they are recognizing. So you both went to college together at William Woods University, and this last fall, you were recognized and honored to be inducted into the 2024 William Woods University Hall of Fame. Correct?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just absolutely incredible. And you guys were part of that 4x4 relay from back when you were in college. So it's pretty impressive when you go through this and seeing the honors that you brought together. So, first of all, were you surprised about that honor being bestowed upon?
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I mean, we had a pretty successful 4x4. During that time, William Woods was kind of hot in a lot of sports. And so we've seen a lot of peers kind of get inducted. But we feel like it was recent, but then it's 10 years ago. But since it was so recent, it was kind of a surprise there, but kind of an honor.
Yeah, I agree. That time frame I kind of just forgot about those days. And it came back on the
So let's take a look at this. So you had over a 2-year period, which was that the only year the four of you were all together running that 2-year period?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And you were 3 times your 4x4 over those 2-year periods received All-American honors. So in 2013, in the outdoor championships, you ended up being 6th. And then in 2014, you were 5th at the indoor championships, and then 4th at the outdoor championship.
Yeah, we just need another year, you know?
Yeah, you're going to say, right there.
rest in there, yeah.
But it was pretty cool. We watched that, 6th 1 year, and with that 6th, the time you got was the fastest time in school history, and still is today.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was looking at, so with that team, so again, 3 times All-American, 6th, 5th, and 4th place finish. 3 of the top 5 times in school history is owned by your squad. So the 2 of you, Terrell Shannon, and then Tanner Edwards. That is the 4.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I mean, so then there's is there any doubt that you would be in the Hall of Fame when you do that type of All-American status at Williams?
It doesn't happen a lot. Like for 4 guys to stay together for a couple of years, pretty rare, especially nowadays with college. Like people are transferring, so to keep 4 guys together, especially with I think there was a 4-year difference between us all, 3 years difference. So to keep that squad together is kind of unique.
So what year were you then on that team? What was your?
I was sophomore, junior.
Freshman, sophomore. Okay, you're behind. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about those 2? Were they?
They were seniors, and then they actually were GAs that 5th year, and they stayed, got their backs, and we have 1 more year with this.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, that's always kind of interesting how that goes. So, what was the key for that team to be there? And over those 2 years, I mean, was it just as simple as these were the 4 fastest guys? They all came together. Was it the exchanges? Was it how things connected? Was it playing to strengths? Was it consistency? Again, I think, believe it or not, I'm not like a real fast track guy. I can tell you my story about my relay when I got 2 people. Not me, but there were 2 people. I had to get out of the way as they were getting the baton. That's what happened. Okay, so that's my experience. But so, what was it about this team that made it so special?
I think one of the big things was we are all pretty competitive. It's kind of an understatement. And so it's one thing that's really cool about practice is we're so competitive. Every single practice, we're competing with each other. And track's not the most fun sport sometimes when you're just constantly running circles. But when you have teammates that you're like, I'm going to beat this person today and every single day, and they're thinking the same thing, that push kind of helps you just become a pretty locked in competitive relay.
Yeah, rotate around like that. I'd say in the track, and then everything off the track was like sleep. Everything we did was together, so like
Really?
kind of crazy too. So again, competitive at every little thing off and on the track. So it kept us plenty motivated. That's for sure.
So you had a strong relationship then through school as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with Edwards and Shannon?
We do, yeah. We have some crazy stuff, you know. It's kind of like a weird coincidence. I think Terrell ended up having a son that now has Rhett's birthday, and Rhett has a son that's Terrell's birthday. So just, yeah, we all stay in touch.
Somehow we just find a way to like.
Yeah, it's always nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we run into each other at random concerts and things like that. Don't know, but yeah, group chats and all the other stuff. So still staying pretty tough.
So a little bit of stars aligning, and with some of the three of the team kind of came together, and then apparently some stuff kind of continues on afterwards. So, did you have as a team, you know, again that 4x4? Did you have like a rivalry with another school, or like when you went into the state tournament, it's like, oh, there's that team, we're going to get them this time, or did you have anything like that?
So our conference at the time, we were pretty good, and so there weren't a lot of conference teams that we were kind of seeking out. But we were feeling kind of good when we were racing some D1 teams like Mizzou. We like to whip up on some D1 schools or like compete with them. And once we got to nationals, there were definitely some Concordia teams that we saw back year to year, and like we need to take those guys down.
Yeah, the Concordia and Leslie.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite like event you would go to? So did you ever go like to the Drake relays? Or I mean, I'm trying to think. Oh, that's the one thing I know about Drake relays. What was the big meet you like to go to?
I mean, for be realistic, the outdoor nats is pretty awesome because it was a good shores. I mean, that was like a huge motivation to go back there. But I liked outdoor stuff, but indoor to me was kind of pretty. I mean, it was not my most favorite. But the facilities, massive facilities like the one in Ohio, like going to Indiana, you know, the universities.
Yeah.
And seeing like all the money they put in these programs is crazy. So
Indoor tracks are like outdoor tracks all the same. Indoor tracks you get unique. They're usually 200 meters indoor. Sometimes there's 300 meters in Ohio. Sometimes they're banks. You got to go a curve, an incline. Yeah. So it's definitely a lot of different ones. Make it kind of interesting indoors.
So what about when you go to those indoor meets? Then do you get time on there beforehand to practice, or is it pretty much just like you do like guys go, oh, you show up, there's your point, and then you get out?
That's pretty much it. Yep, you show up and get rolling.
You don't try and like sneak in like the day before or anything, like come.
we usually rolled in right as
Yeah.
So we didn't really have too much time for that.
So let's see. So in the relay, what legs did you both run? Was it consistent year to year? Did it change up within the year?
And it was pretty consistent. I was second leg. The running joke for our coaches was I was a born football player. As you know, Iberia doesn't have football, but second leg kind of cuts in on the 4x4, so I don't know if they were ready for me to just kind of push people out of their way. And then I was hand off to Rhett.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That was actually going to be one of my big questions, to see if there was that handoff
yeah.
in there with between relationships and that. So
Yeah, we kept that consistent. So
Yeah, I think we kept the order. I don't know if it changed. Once we started, we were like, this is
that was
the order,
we were
and
comfortable with it. That was the way we wanted it. So
yeah.
So, what was it in high school? Which again, Coach Zink, I know you went to Iberia High School. You know, one of those Danger Rangers. Got to love them. When I was there, my freshman year in track, only year I did track, we only had 2 upperclassmen. Our track uniforms were jams. I don't know if you know what jams, Hawaiian jams.
Oh yeah.
And we had T-shirts that had the foot thing on there with the wing and said Iberia track. And we had Hawaiian headbands, because headbands were kind of a big thing to do back then. But they weren't like sweatbands. It was like, you know, the kerchief type thing. And all Hawaiian. And so we said we were uniform because we all had Hawaiian clothes and we can't find the same pattern. Yeah, it was we were pretty bad. But anyhow, it apparently changed. So at what point did you say, hey, you know what? I can go run track in college?
So I think a lot of it was a lot of the upperclassmen. I just remember running in junior high, and a lot of the Iberia high schoolers were like, because baseball's a big thing in Iberia, and Iberia doesn't have a track, so they were like, you need to do track, and like it's something you should consider. And I had some coaches who kind of pushed me for it, and my older sister ended up going that way, running track, and so that kind of was like, all right, I can see this avenue kind of opening up there.
gotta be careful what I say. I'm very alumni.
Yeah.
The elites in Schuyler County, massive here, but our chat track. But I think it was I had a coach. He actually was like on my last sophomore year of high school, but he always like stayed in contact with me. He's like kept contact. He's like, hey, like he worked at William Woods at the time. He was a GA there. And he had like talked to UCM, but he was a big recruiter back. He's like, hey, you got potential to like really go somewhere. And he was probably in like he was probably that guy who kind of made that push to hook me over the edge where I actually thought I could.
So so the transition now, so as you're both coaching, and again, Coach Cook, you're in the cross country realm, so kind of in that connection. Coach Zink, you're on the hardwood, but what was it like being a college athlete way back in the 2010s, early 2010s, when you guys were out there? You know, so difference between going to college as an athlete back then and what you're seeing now from students years that are going on and playing in college.
I think facilities when we were in college, like facility wise, it was like it didn't matter how cold, rainy, hot. We always found something where there was like little tiny stairwells, but didn't matter what we did. Like there was this, I guess, high school was that way too. The no days off was, I would say, definitely there. It didn't matter where we went. I mean, we could go to tiny places and places, and that's where I like it. Well, I'm like, man, we're so fortunate to have it here, you know. So it's like we can go places, but I think that biggest, I don't know. There was, it didn't matter what the forecast was.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing. So until we got to college, finally.
So one second, I think the Peanuts teacher just had something to say to Charlie Brown. Just checking on that. But it might have been picked up, might not have been.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, once we got to college is when we started kind of doing the year-round thing. But one thing I've noticed is a lot of our athletes who are interested in going kind of post-high school career, they're getting those workouts early, like sophomore, junior, and they're starting to do year-round workouts where we didn't get started until we were actually on campus. So
Right.
I'm kind of seeing that change a little bit too.
It's true, yeah.
So, looking back at your college career again, just congratulations on, first of all, the All-American honors. I mean, he was 3 times. It's just crazy success. But then going to the Hall of Fame, phenomenal. So I'm curious if there is that kind of the highlight, like, for instance, Coach Cook, I'm guessing for you, that wasn't your biggest takeaway from William Woods, was those All-American honors. As awesome as it would be, I'm guessing you probably had something else that's more of a trophy than the All-American.
I think there might have been something there, like in the fine print, there maybe a little bit like some spectators that come watch their brother, but maybe not.
Yeah. So it wasn't quite there. So
there was a bit for that.
So you met your future wife there,
Yeah.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how did that? Let's hear the story about how that came about. How did that come about that you meet this fair maiden at in college, and how'd the introductions happen?
She was actually one of like the first girls I met at William Woods. Has a very outgoing personality, of course. There was a volleyball game that night, and she's like, "Hey, let's go!" And I was like, "No, I'm good." I was actually shy at that time, if you can believe that.
Wow.
She definitely was not, and I was like, "Okay, let's go." And then I don't know, it was like a couple years cooled off. We played cards in the basement of Serena, and then
Such a good wingman,
definitely
supported the whole time.
Then Nick was like, "Hey, you want to go to the farm this week?" I'm like, "Sure, we're going to the farm." And Desi was working in Raw. Like, "Yeah, we're going to the farm and do some things like that." And she just happened to be there. So I think
So it
this
just
is definitely way there.
So hand the baton off
Yeah.
on the track.
Be careful.
Now there's Coach Zink going, "Hey, you know what? Let me introduce you to my sister." Now, is Jessica? Is she older than you?
She's older, yeah.
Older than you?
Yeah.
Okay. So since she's older than you, then
Yeah.
again, okay, all right. So that can explain things. Now, to be fair, Jessica is a former coach here at Rolla High School. Took our girls softball team to the state championship game. Right? Was she in there?
That was.
I think she coached that group, but that was
Yeah. Okay, good championship. Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember when she transitioned out of that. Yeah. And I know that was something that she kind of filled in and was, ready to be out. And then now she's still a teacher here. But now she's your wife, your sister. So you got that kind of connection. So Now, while that might be the best award you got out of William Woods was your wife. I don't know if I could say the same for you, Coach Zink, in the brother-in-law as the award. That's kind of like, hey, look, I got a brother-in-law after my time. It's still got to be probably the All-American status. It's got to be pretty high.
It's pretty high, yeah, pretty good, for sure. Got a good brother-in-law out of it. It's one of those things.
You got two, great nephews too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we're pretty fortunate.
That
Not
is
every day you get to call your teammate your brother-in-law. It's actually a pretty lucky thing.
That's cool. So you were okay behind this when it first started.
Maybe not when it first started.
Okay.
When your best buddy starts dating your sister, both their past. You're like, I don't know if this is the best solution here.
It does make for an awkward conversation.
Yeah, I think they kind of hid it from me for a while. I was wondering why my sister was so supportive. It's really popping off. She graduated, but put the pieces together pretty quick.
Hey!
Then I got on board eventually. But yeah.
Okay, I was just curious about that. Of course, I guess the good thing about being a track star is if you upset Jeff, I'm pretty sure you can outrun him.
That is true.
I can't just.
So you can,
We'll get you in close quarters. Those hands gonna come on. So that's pretty cool. So everything's good now, though, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So yeah, that's. I mean, I gotta be honest. That's one of the cool stories. And then again, see me out there. And your other brother Bennett is actually teaching here. So your brother-in-law is also here as well.
Yeah, we gotta watch him.
Yeah, it's almost on purpose. Do you feel like that? Like sometimes they're like checking on you. What's going on? Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Always got to be one of those things. So before we head out, I want to recognize some of our sponsors that we got here on Inside the Huddle. Kind of cool. We got Angie Reese, MVP Apparel. Does a great job. Got the Inside the Huddle sponsorship right here. Got the backpack, got gear. Does a lot of Bulldog merchandise. Appreciate everything Angie does. Dan Collier. He's not running any races anymore. I know he used to when he was young. But he's not just a good neighbor, he's a great neighbor over there at State Farm. Love Dan Collier, he's in the chain gang. Does a great job. Phelps County Bank. 100% employee owned, IPCB.com. Bankers by day, Bulldog fans by night. Kobe Wands, he didn't run track either, but boy, he's a heck of a basketball guy. Two-time All-State player, coaches over at Sullivan now, does a lot of his skill development for the basketball programs, and there's from there, does a lot of work with Ethan. Appreciate everything Kobe does. In Full Bloom, you've seen them because of the college signing. Jackie Mrazowitz does the balloon decor, backdrop rental, and more, and helps out with a lot of the events that we had. And always got a great thing to make a special one for the seniors and for the program as well. So I guess kind of to close out, just got some questions down. We're going to move away from the crazy stuff. Okay, don't have any awkward moments. Who had the faster time in high school between the two of you? You guys go back that far?
I don't know. I think it might have been me, maybe. I think I maybe had the faster time, but I think he had the highest placement at state, so state champion.
State champion.
Yeah.
Wow. That's all right. Congratulations on that one. And All-American status, not Hall of Fame. Okay, college, who had the fastest time?
So it's kind of weird. I think he had some faster shorter sprints, maybe the 1 and 2, and then I had the 4 and 8 last week. It's been a while.
But yeah, the competitive side is kind of like, the competitive side has to, kind of go down a little bit when you become family.
That's right.
Okay, so right about now, let's say, hey, you know what? We got 3 minutes. Let's go run. Who's going to have the faster time? Who's winning?
I think I'm going to have to give it to the cross-country coach. I see him running laps, and I'm not quite getting the laps in the gym. The mezzanine, I'm not a friend of. The girls are, but not me. So
if we have a few minutes, I can think of probably 15,000 other things that would be better off doing.
You think?
But running.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go take a look a little bit here on screen. I don't know if you guys can see this all right, but I found the picture. I love the headshots I got up there. Those are from the William Woods website from back in the day, and showing your All-American status. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I also was able to dig up some other things.
Oh dear.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Running form was
There's that
actually
running form.
what they worked on.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, the running form wasn't quite out there for a little bit.
If you're on a big screen at home, you can probably zoom in on this a little bit. And I'm thinking there's some phrases coming out right here. Like, I don't know if I can make it. You kind of had the whole like, oh Oh gosh, that's what I'm thinking. And maybe it's just because I see somebody running and I naturally think that. And here's, just so you know, it's there. He's blowing by somebody. So I like that, Coach Cook. Appreciate that. Good stuff to see. But hey, you're not alone. So then I started looking here, and I think this is where we got the term a football player doing track.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that kind of looks right there like. And again, the bad thing about having still shots is that it kind of makes you think like maybe you're in the speed walking.
Oh, right. Yeah.
On the right, the one. So we had to get the profile to show
That's
that
good.
full speed off the ground.
I appreciate that.
And here, where you were all alone, we didn't want people to think that was like me when I was like behind the race trying to catch everybody. But here you can see you're definitely ahead of everybody and kind of passing them over there. So I thought that was really cool. And hey, looky here. Here you are with your team. And then you have at the awards ceremony and then the recognition of plaque for that. So
You did a deep dive. You got some.
Hey,
some research sources.
inside the huddle, we're a full service organization here, the way we like to do. So I really appreciate you. Congratulations again for not just the stellar college career you had, the All-American status, to give us something to celebrate. I mean, just tremendous honor to have that here at Rolla High School now, and bring that knowledge and experience with you, the competitiveness. But then also congratulations for that going to the Hall of Fame. That's one of those things that people dream about. Not many people get that honor and recommendation, and you're inducted in that. So congratulations to the two of you and to your two teammates who I'll never meet. But if you ever want to hang out with somebody cool, I'm here. We can do that. So yeah, thanks very much. Good luck on the season coming up, and I guess that'll be for next year with everything. And enjoy the here. We'll have some more of that tonight. Congratulations, appreciate having us.
Thank you.
All right, so from inside the huddle in the heart of the game, we'll see you next time.